Hey guys, and over here, I know it's been kind of a little bit since I did any kind of a talkie video. I am wanting to change that. I do intend to do more talkie type videos. I think that would be a good idea. And I think that it would be more interesting than just the speed paints. And to be frank, I get so frustrated trying to go through and find music to put to the speed paints that this will give me a little bit of opportunity to, not have to do that. So, this time, this one's not going to be an art topic. I just kind of want to rant about, not even rant, just kind of ramble. And I'll do other ones as they come to mind, or if people suggest them, I definitely don't mind to do them. But I kind of want to do some rambles about tropes, like certain ones, whether it be ones I like, ones I don't like, ones I'm indifferent about, and ones I don't like, I will be ranting about those. That's always fun. But some of them will be like, just kind of, oh, this one's not so bad, or I don't understand why everybody hates this one. And, that kind of thing. Either I don't understand why people hate a certain one, or in some cases, I don't understand why people like certain ones. Those are always fun to end up with. But I do think the first one I want to talk about today is going to be the, and this is one that I'm kind of on the fence about. It's not one that I really, really love, but I also don't hate it, and I know a lot of people hate it. But the big thing is, for me, it has to be done, right? But I want to ramble about love triangles. Now, I don't read a lot of romance stuff. I don't read I can't completely say that. I do actually read a decent amount of, YA novels, just because I like them, they're fun to indulge in, and it's 2021. Last year was insanely crazy. This year is, well, I'm still taking a wait-and-see approach with it, but, oh boy, I think we all could use some, things that we watch as guilty pleasures. Things that we watch that maybe other people are just like, oh, that's so cringy, why do you watch it? And because it kind of it puts me in a good mood. With everything going on, we're still in the midst of some insanity, some craziness. The damn Panini's still going on. And, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Last year was nuts, and it ain't stopped yet. So let's talk about love triangles. Now, like I said, I don't really read a whole lot of, young adult novels. But these tend to come up, even in cartoons and stuff. And it's one of those things, I have such a love-hate relationship with it. Hilariously, in fanfiction seems to be when it, tends to be a little bit more interesting. But good lord, at the very least, please I get that we've got the whole thing with, you've got this girl and there are these two guys. And that seems to be the most daggone common one. But good grief, can we stop making it have to be, of the two male love interests whenever you got it this way? Can we stop with the girl ending up with essentially the lesser of two evils? One of the first ones that comes to mind is Twilight, which I have only read the first book back in high school. It's 2021, that was 11 years ago that I graduated. Oh, I feel old. Anyway, I read the first Twilight book not too awful long after, got popular. It wasn't really my thing. I don't do romance at the best of times, and that definitely wasn't it for me. I think what drew me in was the whole vampire thing. But, as things have gone on, you got, at least, now this is my perspective as somebody who's read the first book, seen the first movie, and then seeing a bunch of analysis videos on the other books and the other movies. Speaking of, anybody who's actually interested in, these deconstructions and analysis videos, Amanda the Jedi has, some really good ones on Twilight. And, I actually really recommend her videos. Her videos on Twilight are actually very entertaining. Her other videos are all very entertaining, too. They're very fun to listen to while I draw. So, yeah, go over there and, subscribe to her stuff. Because it's cool. And I know that, I'm so tiny that, that might maybe end in one person subscribing to her, but I don't care. I love her stuff. Go do it. Okay? Okay. So, like I said, I was never really into the romance stuff, but one thing I figured out, both looking back on, my exposure to Twilight when I was younger, I was more so into the 7-book series that shall not be named. but I didn't get the whole you have to like one or you have to like the other. I did not understand that. They're nothing alike. Why do you have to compare these two? It's like, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent for a second. Like, this whole video so far hasn't been a tangent, but whatever. Okay, so you know how you got a lot of people who compare Star Wars and Star Trek and go back and forth and just like, oh no, Star Wars is better because this reason. Or Star Trek is better because this reason. Can y'all quit? Y'all are comparing apples to oranges. Can you not? Like, I get that, people can like one thing over another. I totally get it. And people can have their preferences as to which one's better, but they compare them like they're in the same kind of, they compare them as if they're in really the same category when they're, at least to me, and this is from somebody who's a fan of both, okay? They're not. They're so different. You've got to the letter sci-fi in Star Trek, and then Star Wars I end up referring to as, like, science fantasy, okay? You've got this, essentially, it's practically a fantasy story set in space, okay? With the way that everything works. It just, to me, it's apples and oranges when you compare them as to, one is a better example of this particular thing than that one is. It drives me berserk. People compare Star Wars and Star Trek the same way a lot of people compare Marvel versus DC. I am not getting into that one. Maybe eventually, not today. But, okay. But going back to it, like I said, I wasn't really big into Twilight. I read it. I read the first book. I watched a bunch of deconstructions just because I went back and watched the first movie just as a guilty pleasure thing. Because just, why not? I love anything that delves into, oh, this is kind of weird. This is, you've got this supernatural stuff that's hidden from the regular people. And, okay, I can get on board with that. I can definitely get on board with that. Sorry, I had to adjust. But good grief with the love triangle thing, and I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna make a lot of people who like Twilight mad. Neither Edward or Jacob is that great. Either one of them. Sorry, not sorry, they're not. You have, on the one hand, you've got Edward who comes off as a total controlling jerk, and it's ridiculous. And a stalker. Let's not even get started on the stalking. I could be here all day. Partially because I had a bit of a stalker. He was an ex. But I digress. Okay. And then you've got Jake, who starts out okay and then turns into the epitome of the nice guy. And I mean the nice guy meme. Because sorry, not sorry, if you're nice just because you want to get in somebody's pants, you ain't really nice. People who are really nice are nice to be nice, okay? You don't... Could go on and on about that for ages, too, because, oh boy, another experience with an ex that was awful and horrible, and I might actually tell that story one day, obviously leaving names out, but I think that would be an interesting one, but I digress again. But, like, it seems like almost every single love triangle I see has that. It has that you got the one guy who's like either a stalker or he's totally controlling, gives off this brooding, dark kind of persona. And I'm on the couch. I've managed to record in here on the couch, so if you hear creaking, that's what that is. But you got this dark, brooding, stays away from everyone, is really withdrawn kind of guy who acts like a jerk 90% of the time and is really either creepy or controlling or both, and he can be such a dick and just why? I've never understood why that's appealing. Like, now if you want to go the bad boy with a heart of gold, I love that one. Love that one. Give me that one like all day long. But you don't have to be a horrible person to be a bad boy and to give off that kind of vibe. And then always, almost always, the other guy in question is usually the friend, the guy who gets friend zoned. That insanity. And just, I should be, I'm being nice because I want her to pick me, so why isn't she picking me? The kind of guy who doesn't understand that people are attracted to who they're attracted to. And it's annoying. It's frustrating, it's irritating, and I forgot to mute Discord. Whoops! Anyway, it's infuriating, and it makes me just go nuts with the love triangle. And there are ways to do it okay. For one thing, running into unrequited love could actually be a good way to do, to at least start a character arc and do some character growth for, somebody that you've got. That would be great. Why don't more... I see that more often in fanfic than I do in actual books, which kills me because it's way better than the one guy, and it's usually the one guy gets friend-zoned, and they stay hung up on this girl, and they stay hung up on this other person, and they will not move on. They refuse to move on, just in case she drops the other guy, so he can swoop in and be the comforting person, so he can be the friend and the shoulder to cry on, so that he can maybe have a chance at getting her, even though he's the second choice. Like, it's possible to grow and move on, my dude, okay? So we should, try and encourage people to, when you run into something like that, I'm sorry, if somebody doesn't like you for you, they're probably not worth your time anyway, okay? Sorry, they're not. They're not worth your time anyway. I mean, you could end up, if a relationship grows organically later, after something has happened, and they're single again or something like that. Yeah, sometimes that happens, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And can we stop with the two guys, girl picks one, other one becomes almost like a hovering, pseudo-antagonist almost. Can we stop that? Now, one thing I've seen that I really like in fanfic is either it becomes a growth opportunity for the character who doesn't get the girl, and that I've seen that actually done really well. They move on, they learn from it, they learn not to be a jerk, and learn not to use people, and then they find somebody else. Okay, I like that. I really like that, because that's how things should be in real life. But that's how things tend to be a lot more often in real life. Coming from somebody who had so many, crushes and whatnot whenever they were younger that just were totally unreciprocated. I eventually just had to learn to move on, and because of that, and because I learned from those experiences, I have, things turned out okay for me. She's over at her folks right now. But things turned out okay for me. They turned out great. And I know that... Sorry, I keep getting distracted by Discord. Oh, I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do on this. But I digress. Another thing that I really like, and again, it's something that I see in fan fiction all the time, and can we kind of incorporate this into more stories? Because it's entertaining. You've got person A likes person B. Person B likes person C. Person C either likes person A, or Aces doesn't like anybody. Person C is either, or any of them. Whoever's at the last little leg there. Make an actual triangle. Person C is ace. We don't have nearly enough ace representation. And maybe you got somebody who's ace, or somebody who likes person A. And rather than having two people focused on one person. For one thing, that has a lot of potential to be really entertaining. If you get the dynamic right, you got something for a really cute little poly ship in there if you do it right. And why can't we have more of those love triangles? Why can't we have more that are written well, that maybe it starts out as a point of conflict, and you got two people going after the same person, and then maybe the person that two people are going after ends up with somebody else entirely? Because neither of the guys in question are their type, or neither of the girls in question are their type, or non-binary individuals in question are their type. And it just, seriously... There's more potential than just, you got the jerk, you got the other jerk, she picks one jerk, and then the other jerk still hangs around just in case she changes her mind. And good lord, don't use the same fix that's used in Twilight with, the imprinting. No. Just no. I might rant about that at one point, but, not right now. Definitely not right now. No, I don't think so. But, I would like to at one point, because just why was that a thing? Why was that deemed a good idea? I do not know. But honestly, it just, oh my gosh. I could go on for ages about this, because it just drives me nuts. Actually, I thought of another example other than Twilight, because I know that a lot of people, myself included, are not really into Twilight. They're not. But another example that I can think of, actually, is, like, okay, I really liked, now keep in mind, at the time I was, like, 18, 19. I was, like, right at 19. The 2011 Thundercats had the love triangle crap in it, because you got Lion-O and Tigra, and both of them like Chitara. And, frankly, that one irritated me. That was a needless conflict. That was a completely needless conflict. You had enough conflict between Lion-O and Tigra because of the dynamic that had been perpetuated between them, because you have adopted son versus birth son, therefore end up as an heir because of birth and all that. And oh my gosh, the love triangle thing was a needless conflict. It was a completely needless conflict. And I'm sorry, I don't think, as much as I adore that series, and I love that series, I will forever be salty as heck that they canceled that series. Like, just, no, give it back, please. I want more. Like, not gonna lie, I have some fan characters that I've made, and I have a lot of fun with them, and I have done a lot with them, and it's fun, and I think they've turned out very, very, very pretty. But anyway, I digress. Yet again, I'm good at that. The more rambly videos I do, hopefully I'll do better with it, but I'm not betting on it. And no, it's not because I've had caffeine. That's actually making me more effective at not being stupid, because, like, I have ADHD. Caffeine helps me chill out. It doesn't hype me up. It has the opposite effect. It helps me focus and chill and not lose my mind. And I get so frustrated because that was such a needless conflict. It was pointless. It was stupid. It was awful. If you had left it out, there wouldn't even really have been anything lost from that. You could actually have done a lot better with the series. There wouldn't have been anything really lost from the series at all. I have never been a big fan of that. Like, I didn't like it the first time I was watching it through, and I still do go back and watch the show. I have it on, I ended up buying the season, and it's so good. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it, especially, you know, if you like Thundercats at all, I totally recommend it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But, no, it was unnecessary. And I have ranted about the love triangle stuff for like 20 minutes now, and you know what? I regret nothing. But I do want to do more of these little trope talks, but to wrap it up, I have a love-hate relationship with the love triangle. I hate the way people do it. I hate when it's totally needless and dumb, and it adds absolutely nothing. A lot of times it adds absolutely nothing. And whenever it causes a needless conflict when you could have used for better conflict, and it's just utilized the way it is in like Twilight and stuff like that, just no, stop. But I love it whenever it's used good, whenever it's used in a good way. I just realized I literally cannot think of any actual like story where it's utilized in a decent way. Shoot. Oh my gosh, I really can't. Okay, so I have a love-hate relationship with it in a way where I have a hate for it for the most part in regard to just about anything official. But I enjoy how it's done in fanfic sometimes. And I think I have a love for what it has potential to be. It's kind of like with the state I live in. Love-hate relationship with it. It's pretty, it's all that. It has so much potential. But right now there's nothing here. So living here sucks. And so I have a love-hate relationship with my state. I do. But it's kind of the same thing. I have a love for the potential that it has. Just in general, the potential. And I hate what it usually manifests as, which is a needless conflict with horrible characters who are horrible people. And just stop. Just stop. There are ways to do it okay. But what most people do ain't it, okay? Just no. But I think I've gone on about this one long enough. Oh my god, it's like 25 minutes long. It'll be shorter after I edit it. But I hope you guys like this. If you got any other tropes you want me to ramble or rant about, let me know. I have a list of some, but I don't know for sure exactly which ones I'm gonna do next. I can rant about a lot of them, because I have a lot of them that I hate. And there'll be a lot of them that I do. There's also a lot of them that I love and could gush about for ages, and I will have fun with that. But let me know if there's any particular that you want to hear what I have to say about it, or if you have even any shows you want me to ramble about. I'm willing to talk about a lot of things. I might even do some character rambles and stuff on this later. I really think that could be fun. I want to do some more talking videos. I wish I had kept up doing talking videos before now, but I don't know why I stopped. I think it was just the effort of scripting. And yeah, this was off the cuff, and it was rambly, and I had a lot of digressions and all that, but it was a lot of fun to do. It's a little bit better for me than, like, doing a script, because if I do a script, I, like, have to do the whole thing. I've got to do the whole thing a correct read in one go, or else I double back over it, and I delete the whole thing, and I start again. And it's like, I can't just go through and edit it together for a good take. I can't. It drives me nuts, and I can't. I have to actually do it properly in one go, or I annoy myself, and I'm rambling again. I'm sorry about that. Whoops. But I hope you guys like this. Let me know if you want to see more about this, or you have any art topics even that you want to hear me talk about, because I'd like to do more of those too. Now, those I will have to script. If for no other reason than so that my ADHD doesn't make me jump around from, God, not even point to point, continent to continent, okay? But if you like this, give it a little like. If you want to see more stuff from me, you can check out my channel, you can subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!